Hey John, I hope you're doing good. It's Mark here, and I just had a question, and I wanted to see if you would be receptive to a slight change. A little bit of a progress report. I've spent a few hours already coding up your progress bars for the brain animation. That's coming along pretty well. It's going along well, but there were sort of three principal requirements that you had that I wanted to discuss if you would be receptive to a change. It would, in my opinion, enhance the quality of your presentation, but in addition to that, it would also ensure a greater degree of file compression, and it would also look a lot better across mobile devices. I've already tested the following example of code inside of my iPad, so I can kind of verify that it does work, and integrating it inside of the InDesign format will not be challenging whatsoever. So I just sort of took some of the code that I've already got completed, and I created somewhat of a dial. And this is relating back to the requirement that you had for the graph scale. The graph scale that you want kind of requires a little bit of physics, all right? So those physics entail sliding the actual button across and having it animate specific instances, which are really sort of like small little animations inside of a pie chart. I can do that. It's just that, like, in terms of timelines, you have to understand that, like, I have to sort of create different stop kind of sequences where, like, I stop, I create sort of specific markers, and then I go under the hood, and then I start injecting specific code for that, and I have to sort of create start and stop parameters, and then I have to sort of go through mobile compliance testing, which is a little bit of a bitch, but I looked at sort of something that would maybe be a little bit better, and I've sort of coded up this like quick interface here, and I've just sort of plunked in some images that I had handy quickly. So this right here is a really simple dial, and it's responsive, so it would effectively allow us to sort of create a dial of discomfort. All right, this dial of discomfort would allow the user with a finger, mouse, in this particular case I'm looking at it on my desktop, to essentially scale through what would be your intended presentation in a much more dramatic way. And I've also equipped it with some really nice easing properties. We can also ensure that we have the actual text animations play that sort of give it this nice enhanced effect. If they're really comfortable, it pops up additional animations. So we can kind of change the perspective, the number of images, and everything here. And I think that the overall quality of the presentation is a little bit better. It's just that the physics are there, and it allows me to sort of work with this code instance, which I would personally be a lot more comfortable with. And it's also responsive. It's going to cut down on your overall file size. The initial graphic that was provided to me, unless I'm mistaken, there is no slider built into that. None of that. It just sort of looks like a graphic instance of what you would maybe sort of want as a chart. We can create a much more dynamic presentation within the same price that we're working within that would look a little bit better, and we would substitute these icons. I just coded this and put this together quickly, but this would basically be an instance of what we would be looking at. If you can kind of get back to me, let me know. I can change this dial so it escalates so that here the user would be like, if he's got good office equipment and good furniture, he's super great. If not, it escalates to him being more and more progressively like uncomfortable. If this is something that you would be receptive to, please let me know, because it would definitely expedite my timeline and create, in my opinion, a higher quality deliverable for you. Thanks, man.